Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about the one thing you should do every year to fully control your finances.
Welcome to Wisdom and Wealth, where we talk about the human side of money. Join us as we dive beyond the numbers, unpacking the psychology of money to equip you with the tools you need to be wise in wealth.
I'm Brendan Frazier, Chief Behavioral Officer at RFG Advisory. You likely go to the doctor for a yearly checkup every year. And even if nothing feels wrong, it's just what you do to make sure that you're on track, that you're healthy, that everything's going according to plan. But here's a question. When was the last time you gave your finances the same kind of checkup? Most people, when it comes to their money, they'll wait until there's a problem before looking at their money and their finances. But what if the real key to being in control of your finances wasn't just more money, it was more awareness? Here's the truth. You can't improve what you don't measure. And if you never stop to assess your financial life, you'll never know what needs to be fixed or what's actually going really well. Just like your body can show you warning signs that only a doctor might catch in a routine physical, your finances have signals too. But you can only catch them if you slow down long enough to listen, to observe, and to assess. When people do routine financial check-ins, they're far more confident, they're more prepared, and often less anxious about their money and their financial future. That's why we created this, a personal financial assessment. It's simple, it's powerful, and it might just reveal something about your financial life you haven't thought about in a while. It might just reveal not only what you're doing well, but the one thing that you need to focus on and fix today. It's 15 questions that evaluate all aspects of your financial life. These aren't just questions about dollars and cents, they're questions also about your life. For example, here's some of the ones that are on there. They're all on a scale of 1 to 10. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with your current financial situation? Scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you that your taxes are as low as possible? Scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with your plan to never run out of money? How satisfied are you that your family will be completely taken care of when you're gone? How satisfied are you with the level of stress that finances place on your relationships? And how satisfied are you with the extra that you're able to afford month in and month out? Again, each one gets a rating from 1 to 10. And just like that, you've created a snapshot of where things stand today. But just as importantly, you've probably highlighted an area that needs to be worked on. Here's why this works. Taking time to pause and reflect activates a completely different part of our brain. You shift out of reactive mode, the day-to-day mode that you operate in, the go-go, always on autopilot mode, and you shift into more of a reflective mode, and that's where clarity comes from. A few years ago, Sarah and Mike told me on the phone before we met that everything was good. They didn't need to work on anything. Their finances were in good shape. So I just simply asked them, I said, okay, if that's the case, just take this assessment really quick. Let's just do a review and make sure everything looks good. They fill out the assessment. They came in. Turns out they rated themselves a 3 out of 10 on the question about how confident they feel that their family would be taken care of if something happened. It wasn't that they didn't care about taking care of that. It wasn't that they weren't on top of their finances. They just hadn't taken the time to pause and reflect and make sure that they had everything in order. That simple question, that simple number, sparked a conversation which led to an update to their estate plan, which gave them the confidence that they didn't even realize that they were missing. So here's how you can do your own financial checkup. Step 1, download the free assessment that we provided that we just mentioned. The link's gonna be below. Then step 2, set aside 10 distraction-free minutes to go through and answer and score yourself on those 15 different questions. Step 3, go back and look at your answers and put an asterisk or highlight any of the answers that scored under a 7, because that's gonna signal that something needs attention. And then step 4, look at your results and bring them to your advisor and use them to guide your next financial move. And here's a pro tip, by the way. If you're married, if you're in a relationship, do this together. Do it with your spouse, do it with your partner. Compare answers, talk about where you're aligned and where you're not. It's probably one of the best financial conversations you'll have. When you make this assessment an annual habit, here's what you get in return. First of all, more financial control, because you'll know where you stand and what you need to work on. You'll also identify early warning signs before things become emergencies. You'll get a stronger alignment between your money and your values, and you'll have less stress and be able to make better decisions because you're constantly evaluating and assessing where you stand and what needs to be improved. This is one small annual habit that creates massive clarity. You don't need to overhaul everything. You just need to pause, take 10 minutes, and assess. After all, the best financial plan is the one that you actually pay attention to. As always, if you have questions, if you want to discuss, if you take this assessment and you know what your next move is and you need help walking through that, reach out to your advisor and let them know. And until next time, stay wise and well.